I'll show you how I made this flounce dress for my trip to Mexico. I used some fabric from my stash. It was a beautiful DTY brushed fabric. I used two colors. You can see the top of it is in beige and the bottom flounce is in this beautiful light blue. I chose two colors because it reminded me of the ocean and the beach, which is perfect for my trip to Mexico. I started with my knit sloper, made a few modifications. I created a V-neck, as you can see. I also tightened up under the arm, which is always a good idea when you have a sleeveless garment. Then I created a beautiful full circle flounce at the bottom, and that gives it really nice movement. I'm going to show you how I've done all these things. Let's get started. Now I'm going to make a flounce dress for my upcoming trip to Mexico. I have some fabric in my stash that I really love, and I'm going to use that. We have this beautiful DTY brushed, and it's very soft. I have this in this beautiful blue, and also I have some of it in a pretty beige. So that's what I'm going to use. So I need the dress sloper, of course. I usually start with the front, so that's what we'll do here. So never use your sloper. You always want to trace off your sloper. I'm going to line this up. I typically like to use the edge of the paper, so I have a nice straight line. Line that up. Weights. Now I still have this only in paper because we just made this one, so you have to be a little bit more careful with copying it, since the paper comes up very easily. So I usually hold it down while I'm tracing around. You want to get a very perfect tracing so you don't carry any mistakes into your pattern. It's very hard to get exactly the line. So we have no darts in here. I just want to indicate notches there for the waist. I'm going to put, what I like to do is use this tool. So for the waist, it's harder. This is a curved waist, so it'll just be much easier to do this so I can easily determine where the waist is. For this one, I don't need a waist, but I still like to have it identified. I will take this off, and you can see I'm going to put on the screen now the dress that I'm making. So down here, I'm going to do a flounce. So pretty much I'm not going to change this too much. It's going to be a very simple design here. I've already left ease in this sloper. I really don't need to add any to make this wider. I just want this to fit as it does. But one thing I do want to do is a V-neck. So you have to determine how far down you want to go on your V-neck. And sometimes what I'll do is put in the pattern where a good V-neck would be. And I'm looking at my other one. I should indicate on the sloper about 4 inches. We're going to try 4 inches. I'm going to go down 4 inches here. This is just a complete matter of preference. So we're going to go down 4 inches. And I usually like to write on the pattern. I'm going to do it down here below because I'll be cutting that part off. I like to indicate that I went down 4 inches. So if I look at this pattern in the future, I will know. Then I decide if I want to leave some room here to come out. I think I'll come out, again, complete design preference. I think I'll come out an inch so it's not so tight to the neck there. And then we're just going to connect these. Now I'm going to make it a straight line. You could do a curved line here as well if you wanted, but I'm just going to do a straight line. That's my V-neck. It's easy as that. We're going to be cutting that off. All I have to do is add seam allowances then around the entire thing, because remember, slopers do not have seam allowances. So I will add them. I typically will put in on the sides 1/2 inch. At the shoulder, I'll add 1/2 inch. And at the base, I'm going to add 1/2 inch as well. And then down here at the hem, well, it's not the hem, but it's what's going to connect it to the flounce. I'll add 1/2 inch there. The armhole is very small, so I typically add only in 1/4 inch. And what I'm doing is I'm lining up this seam over here, so I have a right angle here, going out at least for a little ways there. I want to make sure I have a right angle. And then I'm just going to take this around slowly. Up here too, I want to have a right angle up here so I don't end up, so I'm lining up here with that top seam so I can get a nice right angle there. And then come around. I just do dotted. I find it easier just to do some dotted lines and then I come back and fill them in. But do this very carefully because you don't want to add extra width or not enough width. So then I just come back and fill that in. So there's that. And then also at the neckline, I add a quarter of an inch at the neckline. But I do want to have it come square there a little bit. So I'll make that. I'm going to label it as a flounce dress, the front, V-neck. And I'm going to write up here knit, make sure we know this is the knit sloper and the date. And if you have one thing we did forget, so I need to adjust this. So we are going to do sleeveless on this one. So I do need to raise the sleeve. So let's do that. Let me just erase that. I'm going to bring it in 1/2 inch, bring it in 1/2 and go up 1/2, just to make it a little snugger in that location. So there, I'm going to come in there. Here, I want to come in, let's come down. We don't want to just till it. We want to square it off a little bit and then we want to bring that down. There we go. So now we'll put the seam allowance back on. So you can see, sometimes you forget to do something. It's a good idea just to write out your steps so you don't forget a step. I just sort of tend to wing it because I've done it so many times. I definitely don't want to go past the notch there, so I want to just bring it into the notch there. There we go. Now we're going to add the seam allowance into it. Make sure that it's square on the side, or inch. There we go. Fix that. There we go, all fixed. So this is what we did. We brought it in. You can see the old line was over here. We brought it in 1/2 inch and up 1/2 inch. And I'm going to make a note to myself, increase and narrow by 1/2 inch. The notation I give to myself. So I remember that I did take that into account to make it sleeveless. So we're good. Now we're going to move to the back. Now I've lined up the back knit dress slopers. I'm going to trace around here. Since we never modify our sloper, we only make changes to a copy. Here I have little notches for the back armhole. You always have double notches on the back armhole. Trace around, put in the waist notch, even though I'm not going to have a waist seam for this dress, but it's nice just to know where that is. Come across here and then make the waist one here. I have all the darts are gone, so that's all I need to trace. Now in the front we had a V-neck. I think I'm going to leave the back neck unchanged, except we do have to bring it in the same amount so that our shoulder is the same. So we brought it in 1/2 inch there because then it makes our shoulder, instead of 4.5, it makes our shoulder 3.5. So that has to match. And then we're going to come through here and redraw that line. Let's just square off just a little bit there, just so we have a nice square for a bit. We can bring it around. There we go. So that'll be our new back. I said I bring in 1 inch. I always make a note to myself so I know what I've done there. We also, if you recall, on the arm, we brought that up and in because this is going to be a sleeveless garment. So let's bring it in by 1/2. Go in by 1/2. We want to go directly in, just square it in. And we want to go up 1/2 to right there. Then we're going to have to take that dot, let's do maybe a little bit, I don't want a big curve, I just ever so slightly to go into that side seam there. And I always like to just go up to where the notches are. So we'll just have this, we do want to do that at a right angle. So let's start a little bit at a right angle, then we can curve it up. There we go. We took that up and in 1/2 inch for sleeveless. That we don't need anymore. Actually, let me just erase that because we're going to have to put seam allowance and we don't need to get ourselves confused. That is the only thing we need to do because most of this dress is going to be the flounce, which gives most of the appeal. We already have ease as we discussed in the front. I left all the ease in the pattern just so it was a little loose. I didn't want it to be tight, but you can remove the ease if you want. So now we just have to add the seam allowances. Along the side, I add a 1/2 inch. This is a knit flounce dress, back, V-neck as the front, and then the date, put center back there. So there we go. I'm going to cut it out then, and then we'll move to the skirt. Now we're going to make the skirt, so we have to figure out the curve length here for the waist. It's not really our waist, it's going to be at our hips, but that's where it's going. Our bodice is going down to our hips, so we have to figure out what we have to add to that. So we need to do a little bit of a calculation. My hip measurement in the front, I'm going to be doing 2 separate patterns, one for the front and one for the back, because my front and back measurements are different. I think a lot of people's are. So if yours are the same, then you just have to draft one pattern. You do not need to do 2. I'm just going to square off a line here. We're going to be making a 1/2 circle for the front and a 1/2 circle for the back. And then that'll give us a full circle flounce ultimately. So let me square off. So we'll start in the front, and my front hip measurement is 11.5. I want to add in a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So that would be on each side. So right now we're just looking at 1/2. So that comes to 12. But we are going to be making this on the fold. So I need to do the calculation for my entire front hip. So we're going to multiply that times 2, get 24. So my full front hip is a 24. Now we're going to divide that by 3.14, which is pi. Just always use that number. So, and that comes out to 7.64. You can use a calculator to figure out that. I used a calculator and it comes out to 7.64. So that's going to be my radius. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to come down. I find there's a little hit or miss here, and I find that number sometimes for me is a little bit too big. So I'm going to come down a little bit less than that. And then you have to do this a few times. So make a little mark there and make a little mark over here. Now let me show you how I make this curve situation a lot easier. I made this little handy dandy just out of the same paper. I folded it multiple times so it's very firm, and I put a little hole up here. Then I use my awl, and so this is going to be our corner right here. So I put my awl into that little hole and I line that up and press down there on the corner. You can see I made it very long because sometimes you'll see later we're going to have to go further. Fold that back. Okay, we're going to find, I have all these measurements. You see how many different times I use this. So I'm going to find this measurement here, which aligns to what I need. And then you just pivot it around and it makes the perfect 1/2 circle. So there you go. And so this is for the front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this, make sure that it comes out to be what the measurement that I need. Again, often I have to do this a few different times. If it's a little long, you can shorten it, and I'll show you if we come across that situation. Okay, so we need it to be at 12, and we are just almost perfectly, just right there. So I can just cut this last little bit off, not even an 1/8, maybe it's an 1/8. So we're just going to trim that little last bit off. That gives us the perfect 12 that we needed. So that was pretty good alignment, but I did go slightly smaller. And the same thing for the back. Is a slightly different measurement, but I'm going to go through the same math for the back. Then we have to figure out how long we want our skirt to be. It's a matter of preference. Typically, to go down to just below my knee, I do 16 inches because I'm very, very tall. Take us down to there. That's how far down we need to go. You might want to consider adding in a hem to that. So if you want to add in a hem, you would then do your calculation for with the hem. So I ended up doing 7 3/8 is what worked for me to get this nice slope. See, it's slightly less than what the calculation was. Then I have to add 16 to that to see what this dimension is here. And that comes out to 20 3/8. So I bring this back. I find the 23 3/8 on this, get my awl, line it up again, right in that corner. I find the 23 3/8 right there and do the same thing. Stuck. There we go. See, beautiful curve. Exactly what I need. There we go. And then if you needed to do an inch hem, all you would do is find the 24 3/8 and then do it again. So here, I'll show you how we could just do a quick hem here. I can find whatever hem number you want. So we'll line it back up. Let's do this number here if you do want a hem. Sometimes with this fabric, I don't need a hem because it's fabric that doesn't fray. It's great not to have a hem, but that's how you would do the hem. So this would be on a fold here because, as I told you, we're doing a half. This is the center front. So this is the front flounce, and I'm going to put the date down so we know. And yeah, so that's what you have to do. Do the exact same thing for the back, but with a different calculation if your calculation is differently, and then you have two patterns. So I'll go ahead and do that, then we'll join back up. Okay, so then we finish the full pattern. We have the front bodice that goes to the hip with the front flounce that goes down here. We have the back bodice that goes to the hip, and then we have the back flounce that will go here. As you can see that I added the seam allowances. I added seam allowance at the waist, which is a 1/2 inch, which has to match the seam allowance that we added here. We had a 1/2 inch there, and I did a little bit of a hem on both. And then just on this one side is going to be on the fold, and the other side is going to be, we added seam allowance on the other side. So we're all set. That is all we have to do for the pattern, and now it's ready. The next thing that I'll be doing is getting the fabric and cutting it out.